Oh, it's so small. That's what she said. Hello. Hi, everybody. We're on the internet. You guys say something.
Something.
Dan said something.
I said something. But that makes it so I just wanted to make sure everybody could hear you. But you know, hello everybody. Oh wait, no, I got to put on the different voice. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 160 of the Game Brew Podcast, the bi-weekly video game podcast where we sip delicious bevs and discuss video games. See? I'm your host Dan the Big Mike Rotz, and I'm joined by Chris Chris Scruffs McGee Wrights.
All right, they call me Scruffs McGee, see?
And Allison the Stopwatch Van Devender.
I can't do that voice. It's so good though. Oh my gosh.
You could be a go-getter reporter from the 1920s. I'm gonna get my Pulitzer. See?
The hard-boiled detective and
yeah, no, it's so good.
I wonder if there's. Hold on, maybe there's. Hold on.
I was gonna say, yeah, I could just do the. I have no idea what I'm talking about, detective.
Oh yeah, do the transatlantic.
Please help me.
Yeah, get that transatlantic accent.
Please help me.
Oh yeah, the transatlantic.
Oh, please help me.
I do declare. Where's I'm trying to see if there's. Is there like a? No, that's not it. That's not a good one. I was like,
yeah,
I was digging it. This is very elevator.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, those are
music.
Those are elevator sounds. But hey, everybody! On this episode of the Game Brew Podcast,
we're manic. What is happening?
On this episode of the Game Brew Podcast, we asked the question: what's up with all the fuzz, with all the coppers lately, huh? But first, it's time for a bev. See, Scruffs McGee, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Cosmic Brown.
Definitely says Crown.
It does say Crown.
Dan, you gonna be okay over there?
Yep, okay. Cosmic Crown. That's what I said. I've had a bad day, folks. If you can tell by my jersey. Yeah, Cosmic Crown. It's a Belgian-style strong golden ale.
It's
strong.
What's the ABV on that sucker?
9.
Oh,
9%. So yeah, it's from Cigar City. You probably know Cigar City if you know beers at all from High Lie.
Yeah, everybody loves High Lie.
High Lie is a good beer. I got like kind of a combo pack of theirs, and it's been very hit or miss, honestly, which is surprising. Like High Lie is very good.
That's Cigar City. I've never had. I don't think I've had a bunch of them that I'm like super pumped about. You know? Yeah,
I'm kind of surprised because, you know, I was always like, oh yeah, High Lie or Cigar City, yeah, High Lie, that's good, yeah, but like I have Florida Man, Cosmic Crown, what is this one called? Theoretical Jam. It's a wheat ale.
Nice. And
another version of Florida Man.
Florida Man.
There's 6 Florida Men in my fridge right now.
Well then that's the perfect type of place
but this is a pretty good. I would say I was most disappointed with the Florida Men, and the Theoretical Jam. This is actually pretty good for like a gold strong ale.
Cool.
So it's got a lot of like those. It's got a like that maltiness, that kind of strong flavor that you would expect from like a strong ale. But it's also got like the golden qualities of being kind of like lighter and just kind of like not super malty.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good.
Would you say it's not Super Maltese Falcon?
Ooh, that's a movie. This isn't a movie.
It's a film noir. It's not a movie podcast. It's not a movie.
Podcast. But a film noir. That's what noir's what we're going for.
Help me! My husband has died, and I don't know what to.
And perhaps I murdered him.
Who knows? That's the saxophone lick that happens. Allison, are you imbibing?
Partaking?
I'm not today. I'm sorry. I'm having some tummy troubles, so we are just drinking.
I mean, every day I'm having those.
Sugar-free Kool-Aid. That's not the good Kool-Aid. That's the bad Kool-Aid.
Sugar-free Kool-Aid might be the problem though, too, right? Like you've seen all those sugar-free gummy bear reviews.
it's not, but I understand what you're saying.
Does it have red 40 in it? Because that's the one that everyone that
I don't know. Maybe I should check. Yeah.
Well, red-
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I just started drinking it, so it's not
Okay,
a problem.
gotcha.
It's just going to be a
But
new
it could be a problem later.
Yeah.
That's a tomorrow problem. It's like we call those future Dan problems.
That's the cosmic brown, right?
That's the cosmic. Great. Well, I'm sorry, Allison, but
Yeah. I hope your tongue
Okay.
feels better.
Thank you.
my tongue also doesn't feel great, but I'm okay. I'm still drinking beer. And it is by Workhorse Brewing because I keep getting beers from them and I keep liking them.
Well, that's not a problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have when you have a beer podcast. And I'm drinking one. It's just a Czech style Pilsner because I was watching Welcome to Wrexham, and every time every time they'd be in the pub, like with tall frosty glasses of beer, I'm like
Drinking the Wrexham lager.
yeah, I
want some of that so bad.
Me
I don't
too.
know. I'm sure it's not even that great, but I just kinda
probably
want it.
not. But you remember
That
when we
show
were
is so good.
But you've been to Germany and like it's just like you go into a place, they're like, do you want the light or the dark? And you're like, oh, dude, give me the light. And I was like, that's it. That's what you get.
That's they never asked me that,
They just said you want to be
there.
Yeah. Oh, that's but yeah, it's called Checked Out. Here's
Nice.
the can if you want to
like
see
that. I like that a lot.
But
pretty
yeah,
good.
it's good. It's bitey. It's fresh.
Does it have that kind of like Czech Pilsner like distinct flavor?
Yeah, where it's like you drink it. It's got like
it's kind of like that dankness almost.
it's like a dankness, like dank diggity dank. But it's it's still like I always refer to it as it's got like a crispness, merry crispness to it.
Yeah.
Because when you drink it, it makes my mouth feel.
When
like
I think
ice.
of that, I think of like Pilsner Urquell is
Okay,
like the quintessential Czech
Yeah,
Pilsner for me.
yeah, because they've been making that forever.
Yeah, and that's always like that one's. If you open that, it smells so dank.
That does. That one, I whenever you
like
open
you
that,
could,
I'm like,
you could.
I'm
You're
like,
oh,
is this skunked? Like, is this skunked already?
No, that's just how it is.
That's just how it smells. That's just how it is. And of course, if you in the audience who are watching us live right now, if you are imbibing any Sunday night bevs after some football games, Chris, what's the score of the Lions game right now? Hopefully, a lot to a little.
Last I looked, it was 24 to something. 24-7.
A lot to a little. I like that. Okay.
24-7. Yeah. Go Lions, right?
Go Lions. I mean, they haven't made the playoffs for 32 years, so or whatever it is, whatever ridiculous number of years it is. So if they make it to the freaking the big game, then boy howdy, that'd be exciting.
Rooting for them.
Yes.
Not bitter. Not bitter right here.
Not bitter. The Pilsner's a little bitter. But if you are imbibing, please in the chat tell us what you're drinking. Tell us what you're drinking on this Sunday evening to get ready for another.
We'll comment about it and tell you if you are making good choices or not.
But
generally, we're just going to say you're making good choices. But
generally, we're just going to do that. But this is also a beer and video games podcast, so we're going to talk to the video games part about it now. Chris and Allison were at. We didn't podcast last week because Chris and Allison were at the MAGFest.
The MAGFest.
The MAGFest down in.
Yep. So MAGFest is a music and gaming festival. So it's basically just a con that's 24 hours for 4 days. So we actually got there a day early, which was super nice. We had the same.
Really? So nice. I've never done that.
It's great.
The best.
That's really cool.
And especially when you have a room. We have a really nice room.
Mm-hmm.
Which was super nice. So like we have like a big suite, and we have like basically a kitchen table. So we have like room to play board games and stuff. So we played a game that I got at PAX Unplugged.
Which one?
Heroes of Arcadia.
Oh, you
God,
did!
It was so fun.
Oh man, I want to play that.
Everyone loved it. It was great.
That's so
you
cool.
should come.
Well, next year. Listen, whenever it's in a year where I don't have a Disney wedding to go to, and also and also like a bunch of bachelor parties I have to go to this year. It's crazy.
Wow.
You should probably stop
you have so
having
many
friends other than
I
Yeah.
don't want
us.
any more. I'm good. That's why
Did-
that's why me and
Chris, did
Hannah
you
are getting married, is so
Did
that
you
we
clear
only
Dan
We're
having more
done.
friends than us?
what?
I didn't clear it. Did
I
you
didn't-
clear
Yeah.
him?
No.
You guys
Having
didn't.
other
I filled
friends?
out the paperwork. I
It
sent
never
it
got
in.
to me. I never signed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry guys.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I don't know about
Oh.
this. We'll talk
But
later.
yeah, so like we played Heroes of Arcadia. This is I'll call it a board game, a tabletop game where your health, it comes with these cups that have lines on them, and you have to fill it up with a drink of your choice, and the lines are basically your health bar. So like once you finish your cup, you're out of health, and like there are certain cards that make you like drink some, or you can heal some and refill your cup, and different things like that. And you're basically going through a dungeon and trying to find like the final treasure. You have to be the first person to find the final treasure, and it's a lot of fun just because there's like a little bit of shenanigans, a la like Munchkin, where you can like, oh, you drink 10, or like you have to like fight monsters, and people can help you,
Mhm.
or make it more difficult for you to fight monsters, and it's just a lot of fun. It just, bringing that alcohol aspect really just
Yeah,
makes it a lot of fun.
that adds a lot of stuff to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a blast, honestly. I know it was like an investment for Chris, but I'm so glad he made it. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, it was, well, so honestly, I made the investment because Dan was there like, "Ooh, these guys are like from my hometown and they made this game," and I was like, sold.
Yeah.
Because like I saw, like, I basically like told me about the premise of it, and I was
Yeah.
like, done.
I'm in. Give me it. Give me it.
I mean, and then also they were having like a side thing with I think it was New Belgium was kind of hosting.
Yeah, it was Voodoo Ranger specifically because
which is made by New Belgium.
New Belgium. Yeah, they always do. They always use their Voodoo Ranger brand stuff to like go with video game things. I don't know why, but it's pretty cool.
It's cool though. But yeah, so like they were hosting like a playthrough using beer at PAX Unplugged, and I was like, well, they wouldn't do that if it sucked. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I didn't even play it, and I was like, this is awesome. I'm gonna do it. So the first time I played it was MAGFest. It was awesome.
Nice.
Highly recommend.
Nice. Did you spend some time in Pinball Land?
I didn't spend a lot of time there this year. I spent most of my time in Indy. There was like Dan, you remember like going to Mag, and there was like that. So at
There's
MAGFest,
like the
there's
show floor.
there's
Yeah.
like, at the show floor, it's basically split into 4 sections. One section is merch, so it's like a bunch of people that bring their own like stuff to sell, and like there's big companies, just like literally individual people that are bringing their own stuff. There's one section that is arcade games. There's one section that is console games, and then there's one section that's the indie games.
Mhm.
And almost a good third of the indie section now is actual, honest to God, arcade cabinets.
Really?
So like
That's
people that are
interesting.
making their own arcade cabinets, and that is awesome to me. That's my
That's very
favorite
cool.
thing now. Is so like we spent a lot of time, like me and a couple people's me and Jay spent a lot of time playing like pretty much all of those and just kind of going through them, and there's so much fun. Like I love like people's new take like on arcade cabinets,
because they could be, because now it's like I think we're getting to a point now where we can kind of people are ready to innovate on it again because arcades are coming back, which is wild. Like that's a thing that's happening.
There's a new barcade that opened up in 5 minutes from my house, which is awesome. I haven't gone yet, but I want to go.
Well, I told you guys this and probably previously on the podcast, but there's a pinball gallery that is that's like 5 minutes away from my house here in Pennsylvania.
When I was there? Why didn't we go to that? Did it just open up?
No, it didn't just open up. We'd never been there before. But like one day we were just like, oh, there's this place. We should go check it out. And they have so many pinball machines. There's like at least 50 pinball machines they have in there.
That's awesome.
And they're really cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, but also I was talking to them. Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody, and they were telling me that ice cold beer is now like is coming back. Like the
Ian
company
brought it back,
yeah. Well, not Ian literally, but they did.
Ian figuratively.
But like, no, there was. I guess there's a company bought them. I think it's Capcom or Namco or Atari or something like that, and so they're like going to remake more cabinets of it, which is really cool.
That's
High
awesome.
School Beer is great, but yeah, that's very cool.
I've honestly never played it, and I probably
kind of
should.
want to. Allison, what
I've
about you?
only watched Ian play. So.
Yeah, same.
Which is with his really wide, low stance that he does. He spreads his legs out as far as he can.
I have pictures of it.
It's amazing. It's a technique,
it's awesome.
and I approve. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So for me, I was trying to find the name of one of these groups because I feel really bad that I can't remember their name. So I went to the pinball machines early because they break very quickly.
Yeah,
they do.
Last year was really bad. And I remember I tried to hit the cabinets. I think I came late Thursday. So I tried to hit the cabinets Friday and most of them were already broken. So I was like, I'm going to do this early and hit that as soon as I can. And the pinball machines actually, the section was really small this year.
Oh, that's sad.
Compared to previous years.
Sorry, I just remembered a game that I need to talk about. Sorry.
Yeah, and there were a lot of spots that were like there were pinball machines I was hoping to see there that I didn't see there, things like that. It was definitely like more sparse this year, and they did break pretty early, and they were removed instead of just sitting there broken. So it was really empty in that area by the time the con ended. Even by Saturday, honestly, it was just like weird open spaces in the pinball section. So I didn't get to do as much of that as I wanted to. Also, the X-Men machine broke, and we usually play at arcade.
We struggled through it, but we got there.
Did you? Because they told us that half of it didn't work. So
so half of it you couldn't like replenish lives. So we got through it, but like the other half, like, so basically I played as Colossus as long as I could. Exactly. And then I played as Cyclops, who is just god awful. He's not really good especially compared to Colossus. And then who's the other one that's on the left? I think it's Storm.
Storm's my favorite.
Storm. Was it Storm or was it?
She's so good.
I think it's Storm. But basically Katie played as Storm, and then I can't remember who else. It's Storm, Colossus, Dazzler, Scott, Wolverine, and Nightcrawler, right?
Yes.
I think that's
Is it Dazzler or is it Jubilee?
It's Dazzler.
It's Dazzler.
Jubilee.
It's Dazzler. It's Dazzler.
Really?
Yeah, it's Dazzler.
Okay.
Look it up.
I believe you.
Get in the no.
Okay, I believe you. Jump in there.
But yeah, so like half of them, like I played 2 out of the 3 that didn't work, and so basically at the end I was just kind of just hanging out. But like we got through all of it.
Nice.
So we did it.
Yeah. We left because the people who were still on it that we were waiting on when we couldn't find you guys, the people who were on it, they were like, you shouldn't even bother. Like we barely made it through half of it. The buttons aren't working at all. And I'm like, oh, okay. So
they're wrong. We got through
They
it.
were wrong. Yeah.
There was also this game. So there's also usually like this really large amount of like Japanese games.
Right.
Which I think we've talked about this before. One of our favorites is unfortunately called Jubeat, but it's basically like where you touch like these things
where you touch all the different lights.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately named. This year there was one. So Japan is famously known for their train system. And so there was this one where basically you were a train driver and you had to like be efficient in the way that you drove your train, and then like had to like be efficient in the way it stopped, so that like you didn't go too far but not too over the, so like you had to like stop
so
it's
like
the right time.
Gotcha. It's like Crazy Taxi, but instead it's trains.
But like you're not worrying about driving at all. You're just
go forward, back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Talked about that one. I never found it. So
but like it's like in this big like train box, and it's huge, and it's like this big thing. We were all just blown away by it, like how intense it was for such a simple thing.
Yeah, such a very simple game. That's great. That's really cool.
Very Japanese.
I tried to hit more concerts this year because that's kind of always my goal. I feel like I don't make it to the concerts because there's so much going on.
Yeah, we were bad at that. I'm always bad at that.
Yeah, there were panels and stuff that we wanted to hit, and we didn't get to many of those because there's like the timing's so difficult on those, and it was sold out this year. So all the panels were like full, and you could not get in if you weren't there early enough. So unfortunately, again, I missed on. I just feel like I need to like really plan in advance and stick to it and set timers and just actually go to these things I want to do. I did get to go to like a couple of concerts for people I hadn't seen before. And Chris, do you know the name of the group that dress up as Transformer bots?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, I loved them. I cannot remember their name. It's going to drive me batty. But they were amazing.
That's awesome.
And I got to see them this year. And then I went to Proto Men.
Proto Men's awesome.
Which is always good. And they brought them on stage too. So it was great that I found them this year because they did Barracuda and they have two really good like female vocalists.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Is it the Cybertronic spree?
Yes. Oh my gosh, thank you. You did. This was going to drive me insane. Cybertronic spree. They were amazing and I loved them.
Which is hilarious because it's a playoff of the Polyphonic spree, which was like a band in 2006. That was popular for 6 months.
It's very weird. They were
silly.
So weird, and I loved them. They were goofy on stage. They had a humor. It was kind of a nod to very like 80s vocals and vibe, which I really love. A modern 80s group. I don't know why that's my thing suddenly, but that's my new favorite thing. So that, and then Proto Men, it's just like everything.
They're just solid. Yeah, they're real good.
So good. It's just like there's something special about watching them every year, and I'm so glad that I've gotten to these last 2 years. And then there was this other group called Descendants of Edric. No. And they did a lot of like Final Fantasy-esque music and things like that. But the group was 3/4 female. They're from Austin, Texas. I just really dug their vibe. Really liked them. And I ended up getting a shirt and getting them to sign it, and it was accidental.
Nice.
It was accidental? How was it accidental? Oops.
You fell into my Sharpie.
Oh, you fell into my pen. Oh, no.
So it was like, I'm very awkward. And what happened was I just wanted to buy a shirt and support them because I thought they were very cool. I thought it was great. They got to make it. It was their first time there. And I just wanted to give them a little support. So I went to buy a shirt, bought a shirt. And then the line, like, it looked like I was supposed to exit through the band area. I don't know what that area is called, but there's like an area.
I don't know if they call it band.
Like the meet and greet area
Band
or like
Island,
the green room?
Band Island.
Band Island.
Band Island.
Band
Like-
Island.
There's like no clear exit. So the line that after you bought shirts wrapped in there, and I thought I was supposed to exit through there. No, what happens is if you wanted to exit, you had to walk back through the line awkwardly instead of going forward. But if you went forward, you stood in line to get something signed. Well, I have a black t-shirt and I wasn't really intending to get it signed, but then I was too awkward to like ask how I can leave. So instead I just stood there and I had them sign the back of it. And I don't know, it's really special now. I got it, I guess. I don't know.
How did you meet that band? Because my social anxiety was too high.
But they were very pleasant and
That's
very
awesome.
nice. So it
That's
was
awesome.
great. I'm glad to have that experience, even though it was forced and awkward. It did make me miss a panel that I wanted to see though. So it was a whole thing. But anyway, yeah, I had a really good time and cosplayed and
of course, I'm assuming that you guys got to see Triforce Quartet.
Oh yes.
With their like mega
yes.
and their like mega performance. Because they did like had them and a bunch of other people too.
Yeah, so
Wow.
and our friend the former Game Brew podcaster with us, Alex, was doing sound for them.
I wouldn't even say no one ever
He's
leaves.
already technically retired. So yeah,
no one ever leaves the Game Brew. They're just on extended hiatuses. So technically he's still a host of the Game Brew podcast. He's just never shows up.
But yeah, no, and actually we hung out with them a bunch before before and after. We're good buddies with them.
Yeah, we love them. They're great.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can
and
listen.
I think they like us.
We think so. If you want to listen to more to our interview for them, you can go listen to episode 69
Nice.
of the Game
I
Brew
forgot
podcast.
that was episode 69.
Yeah, it's episode 69. We specifically skipped 69 so we could record it there and then
At
go back.
MAGFest is where
And then the
adults-
pandemic happened a few months later.
Yeah.
So
Wild.
All true story.
It's crazy how long ago that was, but it
Yeah.
doesn't feel that long ago.
yeah,
Probably the most fun / silly thing I did was that me and our friend Jay, around 2 or 3 in the morning one night, just basically walked out of our room, and there were these guys.
But I have a precursor story about this.
Okay, go ahead.
So before that happened, we walked out of our room as a big group without them, and there were these guys outside our door, and they said that they were led there by their magic 8-ball. And we were like, cool. Well, we're actually going to the Church of the Olive Garden if you want to come with us. And that was like at midnight, right?
I thought it was like later than that. Maybe it was at midnight.
Maybe it was. I don't remember. But time doesn't exist at MAGFest.
No, it doesn't.
So
it's true.
They went with us to the Church of the MAGFest, or Church of
the
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Which
And it was weird, right?
It was super weird. It was super weird. And then they left because the Magic 8-Ball told them. And then Chris.
Then they showed up back in front of our door. So maybe they were just trying to get into this.
I was going to say, maybe they were just trying to break into your room.
Maybe they were lying about the Magic 8-Ball.
But no, they weren't. So me and Jay went outside and found those same guys, and we basically walked around the entire hotel. And at some point, I was basically like, I'm tired. I asked the Magic 8-Ball if we should go back to our room and have a break, and it was like, yes. And we were like, sick. And so we went back to our room. Our room has this outdoor patio area with like a fire pit, and it's very silly. I'll have to share pictures. But we hung out there for a while, and then eventually we continued going around the hotel. But it was just like this random group of people. One of the guys was from Chile. Like it was just a random group of dudes that just kind of met up at MAGFest. We kind of became a part of it, and we went around the entire hotel together, following awesome. A magic 8-ball. It was one of the most MAGFest things you could do.
That's such a weird. I mean, hey, that and so following a magic 8-ball around, going up to go down, just yelling every once in a while.
It's a good time, man. Yeah.
Boy, that sounds fun. Well,
MAGFest. Do a MAGFest sometime.
Do a MAGFest,
everyone.
You guys, if you haven't done it. One of these days, Hannah and I are going to do it as well. But
no,
Hannah hasn't. We're trying.
It was not the Church of Applebee's. It was the Church of Olive Garden, which was better, but somehow still worse.
Still had breadsticks.
They claimed they had breadsticks.
Well, they had. Well, there was something about breadsticks. There was something about sauce as well, right?
They did marinara communion at the end. They lined up.
Awesome.
No,
it's so awesome.
That is when we
wait. But I thought for the Church of Olive Garden you had to be Olive Guardian in order to take the marinara communion.
I mean,
there's some places where they'll give you communion. Probably at the Church of TGI Fridays, they'll give you some. Or the Church of Chili's, everybody gets baby back ribs.
I literally decided that my new goal is to infiltrate and take over the cult of Olive Garden here, and just like somehow take it over next year.
Totally fine.
That's my new goal. Yeah.
Is Savage Garden a competitor? Says Can't you see me? Says.
Like the band, like the musical group.
Well, they do need us and want us, but I don't think so.
Need you, want you. Well, I didn't do any of that fun stuff. Instead, I just played pinball. I'll tell you, my favorite pinball machine to play right now is a Guardians of the Galaxy pinball machine. It's pretty good. It's not the fastest one. I've played some real fast ones. Like there's a Game of Thrones one that's really fast and hard. But I like this. It's a little bit.
I'm not even going to say anything.
But
Raisin?
But. That's okay, Allison. But I mean, how do you like your curry?
I'm spicy and served hot.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So like I'm glad that I can still say something, but I guess Allison can't.
No,
it's Kant. But the also so game I've been playing just quickly. It's on Game Pass right now. It's called Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. If you've played, there's the RPG.
Is this like has Turnip Boy done other games? Or
yes, this is the sequel to Turnip Boy commits Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
That's what.
Which is is like like top down, or like like hack and slash, like Legend of Zelda, but you're a turnip boy. And this one is after that game. Don Pickle asks you to help him knock over a bank. So
that's
you do that, and it's a roguelite instead of being like an action RPG.
So they're using the same character but different.
Yeah.
Genre
and like a bunch of the characters from the other game are back, and then like you get to see like the aftermath. It's pretty funny and stupid and great, and I love it.
Alexa, stop listening.
Funny and stupid and great are like my favorite genres of everything.
That's true. Me too. And it also describes me pretty well.
Same.
But
also
yeah.
Apparently I thought I said its name. Rude.
I
wish I could turn that off so bad.
The last things I wanted to mention about MAGFest, I'm not drinking it this time because I don't feel well, but I will drink this. This accidentally came home with me. This was from our neighbor at MAGFest.
Oh.
Yeah. So we met our neighbors at MAGFest, and they were like, one of them was a photographer.
Oh, cool.
They were from like, I think the Northeast area.
Okay. Yeah, New York area, I think.
Yeah. And like they shared all these really nice ciders with them, and I shared Natty Bow with them because that's all I had.
Nice. Well,
that was regional.
Listen, it's regional.
Yeah, they were very nice, and he was a good guy, and so this one I'll be drinking the next time I can drink and not feel icky.
Not feel yucky. So great, awesome. Yeah, MAGFest.
And I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just saying, MAGFest is great. If you haven't gone to it or you have any questions, we usually we'll post a link in the Discord. But also, like, it happens in January. Every year.
Much every year. I've been to it about 8 times now.
I was there once.
Yeah, so it's a good time. If you have questions, let me know. I think the only thing we would be remiss not talking about in this what we've been playing section, I've played Pal World.
It's a game.
It's a game, and I played it, and I am still playing it, and I think we don't have enough time to talk about it right now.
That's true.
So
I have also played it.
It's a game, and I'm playing it, and as a general statement, I'm enjoying it, but I don't want to get too far into it.
Yes, we'll probably talk about that later, and we'll also see what actually happens with this Pokemon Company stuff that is coming out too.
Well, I mean, I think if they were going to be sued, they'd be sued by now.
I think they'll try very hard because Pokemon loves suing, but I don't think it's going to get.
Well, the dude that was making a mod that was Pokemon already got sued and got a cease and desist. So
that's easier.
That's easier. That's easier IP to claim infringement on.
But like anyways, I don't want to go too far into it. But
we'll get into it next time.
I think if they would have gotten that letter, it would have already been there. So that's my opinion.
Gotcha.
Anyways.
Well. Anyway, yeah, Nintendo has reopened the investigation into it. They sent a letter about that, but it's like, who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Well, just don't delete it, everybody. If you have it in your Steam games, maybe you'll be able to play it forever.
Endeavor.
Let's
make it last forever.
Yeah. So this is the part of the podcast where we talk about something. Aside from the beer and video games we've been playing. And that is
that would be a short little one since we had a lot to
say. We did.
No, to be fair, we started very late.
So yeah, we did start later. We're good. So I was talking with this voice, see, because we've been doing this podcast for around 7 years. This is episode 2 of season 7 of the Game Brew podcast. Wow. So not our anniversary, that's in April. But it is our 7th year, which means year 7 is the Kappa anniversary. So You know, so Allison, see the coppers, see?
Allison loves a good pun,
That's
and
funny.
this is
I
how
like
we
that.
ended up here.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I didn't get all that. I guess I skipped
But-
a little bit ahead.
I was
Once
like,
we were going through
did you
that.
not read
Chris
my
saw a block
whole
of text and was
spiel?
just
I
like,
saw that. I
not
was like,
reading it.
oh, we're talking about cop stuff. Cool. God.
Why do I bother, Chris?
Listen, I've had a rough day. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
So we're good. So we figured, but Allison had a lot of really good. Humphrey Bogart's always been here. I've been here the whole time. See, but Allison had sent all of these things about. It's like, and I started thinking about it after she said it too, because there are a lot of like games, specifically like Rockstar, the like police and like the cops are a big part of it, but there are a lot of games where there are police in it. So we kind of wanted to think like, Allison posted a bunch of questions, so I'm gonna kind of start with just our general thoughts on like the police in video games, like when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like,
So
what do you?
when I was kind of like thinking about this in general, I thought I feel like a law enforcement in video games in general is like almost like an easy mode way to very quickly set stakes and create like a moral idea and like set you on a certain side of the law, with like depending on what kind of game it is. If it's a game where you're against the law, or if it's a game where you really need to try to play by the law to get through it, or those kinds of things. I think it's like a really easy, quick, everybody knows what is intended. So one of the things I was thinking about is like, is there a way you could think of that it could be done in a different way to set those stakes, or have like the lack of law enforcement per se, but understand that there's like, I guess it's a societal question. Maybe I'm getting too deep with it. A societal question of like, are people going to be good without the law?
I think a good thing to think about is like, okay, well, in Baldur's Gate 3, in the first act, right when you get to the Emerald Grove, there's technically no cops. Like, there aren't like guards or anything. But if you do something that's bad in the opinion of the Emerald Grove, you're gonna have a bad time. Like, you're gonna have a bad time. They're gonna fuck you up. Like, so like it's more just like, in some games, like the people that are doing the fucking of you up are cops. Or our guards, our cops are,
that's,
you know what I mean? And like, whereas like in the Emerald Grove, it's just like the dudes that live there.
The dudes that live there.
Everyone's super, you know what I mean? Like,
stop right there, criminal scum.
Right. Well, I'm thinking of like Skyrim, and like you have to like.
That's
what
you
know what I mean. Like,
yeah, but I was thinking about it because whenever Allison said it, I immediately thought of Grand Theft Auto, but then I immediately thought of like a bunch of other games where it's like, there's a lot of games where you play criminals and you have to either like avoid the cops, like avoid getting like a star rating or like a criminal like thing. Yeah. Or they're like actively against you. And it's like, so it is interesting that it's like,
well, and like especially Grand Theft Auto, they're aggressively over the top.
They are aggressively over the top. I love Kant says, the philosopher Kant says, are we basically deciding if The Wire should be a video game? And
that's my life, dude. Look at my jersey. Just kidding. It's not.
Yeah, we too can have a 15-minute scene where all we say is fuck over and over again in all of its different ways.
Fuckity, fuck.
Coffee brought up that in the new Yakuza, the cops are corrupt as fuck. So that's like,
yeah, but that's the other thing. Is like in most things they are. I think it probably in Skyrim they're the least.
They're just dudes.
They're just dudes. They're like, hey, you better put.
Hey, just don't do the bad thing.
Hey,
I mean, they're kind of in the same way in like WoW too. Like, just don't be a dick to the guards. Like, you just can't be like PvPing people.
Right. Yeah, and that was like another thing. I can't remember how I phrased it. I liked the way I phrased it in one of the questions on there. But
The realistic or fantasy portrayal, do you ever think of these as actual police, or do you feel it have form of realism, or is it more important to bend the fantasy? Is that the one you're talking about?
no, I can't remember. Ugh, gosh,
Well, and
I
like
should
even
have
in
pulled this up.
Oh, is it
like
the one
Skyrim,
about?
you can bribe them and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
but like I mean, that's such a basic like.
yeah. I
If
mean,
you pay enough money, it goes away, kind of thing. Like
yeah,
when money's not really an
Oh, yeah.
object in those games.
I found it. So like the representation of police in video games was kind of what you were touching on.
Yeah.
Like how they're portrayed. Are they heroes, the villains? Are they something else? I think like the something else is that like just generic NPC that Chris was talking about, like a guard. He's just there. He's just doing his job. He's just
Yeah.
They'll
saying,
tell you where to go if you're asking where you try to find
he's
stuff.
like, please don't
If
fuck
you
around
need
or
it-
you're gonna find out.
If you need some good weapons, the best place to go.
I
is
used to be a hero like you until I took an arrow to the knee.
Right. And like the perception of law enforcement on players, and is there like a societal influence on the game world? So like in the new Yakuza, like he said, the cops are corrupt as fuck. And is that a kind of idea of things people are looking at more modernly with societal questioning of things like that? So like I just think that's really interesting because like when I was younger, I would say cops in video games that I can remember, and maybe it was just because I wasn't playing the deep shit. They were saw like as the good, right? They are the good.
Yeah.
And now I think it is more morally gray in video games at best for law enforcement types.
I'm trying to think of.
When were they good?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of well, now there's.
Well, I mean, in GTA, you're technically the bad, and cops are the good. Trying to
No,
chase you.
you're the morally gray.
Well, that's where it gets like there's like we could get into a whole conversation about like what is good,
True.
what is bad.
That's
it's more
true.
of like who's the protagonist and what's the antagonistic force. And GTA, the game is about committing crimes. Therefore, this
game is called a crime.
this game is a crime, which therefore the protagonist is committing crimes. The antagonist must be the one who wants to stop the crimes from happening.
And that was kind of like more the look of it when I was younger, I guess, is like you're playing the bad guy or whatever, who's doing these wrong things, breaking rules, things like that. And now I think more modernly it's a little less of that.
I'm reminded of kind of the trope that's in everything. Anytime that there's police involved, there's by the book ones, which we don't like. That's how it is. There's by the book cops that we don't like. There's the cop who plays by his own rules and is like, you're a loose cannon, Smith. You gotta give me a head and your badge and your gun. And that's always kind of like our main character. Sleeping Dogs. You play a police officer who is infiltrating the Yakuza. So it's like technically you're a good guy, but there's also you're pretending to be a bad guy, so you have to be a bad guy to be a good guy. It's almost like anytime that we have something where a cop is involved, you have to see the rest of the cops as being either not.
It's like you have to see, like maybe this person doesn't suck, or maybe they do, but we don't know until we've seen like the level of suck compared to everyone else.
Right. Yeah. LA Noire is a really good representation of how like the whole precinct is basically just awful, except for the one guy who's like trying to solve all the murders. And then they find out that he's married to that he's dating a German girl, and they're like, nope. Sorry, spoilers for LA Noire.
We're not allowed to date German girls? Is that
No, that's the whole thing in LA Noire is you switch protagonists at one point because you get fired because everyone's like, oh, you're dating a German, and it's like post World War II. It was like post World. No, it's literally like it's literally just racism. That's the whole plot of that game.
Yes,
racism.
Course. It all comes back.
But yeah, it's like I just find it's like the police are kind of this weird, if they're not actively antagonizing you, they're not helping you do more, you know?
Yeah, and like and like you never actually play. Like I don't know if there are any games where you're just like
A cop?
I guess yeah, just a cop. Like I mean, sometimes you're a
Well,
detective, I guess, but like
I mean,
never just like a cop.
I think those games exist, but they're not popular.
They're not for us. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not ones that are popular.
Wait.
And like
In Time Crisis, do you play a cop? Because I love Time Crisis.
The only game I was thinking of was like Crackdown.
I was going to put Time
Ooh.
Crisis in here, but I was like, were they cops? Like, were they?
I think technically they're not. I think they're like some weird. They're like Crisis Core.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure there. I didn't end up putting that one. But like, I mean, R.I.P.D. They made a video game out of that movie.
That movie was bad, and they made another one.
It was.
They made two.
They made
It
it was a straight to DVD
wasn't
release.
great.
That one doesn't.
Oh, they were both
doesn't count.
bad.
Well,
I
yeah.
couldn't believe there was a game for
There was a
R.I.P.D.
game?
From being honest.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds was in it, and Jeff
There's-
Bridges. Both of those
Yeah.
are great. Those are two good things
It was like a
that movie
cute
had.
movie at parts, but yeah, not a cinematic masterpiece, I'll say.
No.
There is a video game for The Shield. Do you remember that show, The Shield? That was
Wasn't that
it was like a
like-
USA TV show. They made a game for it
why?
because that's what you did in the early 2000s. There was a thing that came out, so
it's not like it's coming soon. It's already okay.
Yeah, no, it was out. It was like
okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, as far as like games where you are actually the cop doing cop things, no. I mean, those games don't get popular.
And I feel like if you were to do like if there was like a policeman simulator, I feel like it would be, again, like one of those really boring simulators where it's mostly just responding to like calls that.
Yeah, I hear you say that, but how many people love and put money into and how popular are Farming Simulator or
That's true.
these
and like
Power
it's gotta
Wash,
be more exciting.
Power
than
Wash Simulator.
Farming Simulator.
Well,
Like, it's just
isn't
gotta be.
in GTA, isn't there like the whole RP community where like people do
Yes.
like RP as police officers and like drive around waiting for people to run stoplights?
100%. And I've watched a ton of that. I love that content. I would love to do that if I could find people who would want to do it with me. I think it's really great content, and the cops, they have to be very good at it in order for it to be watchable.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I think there was one person who like was a cop and they're retired now, and theirs was like chef's kiss because the RP felt fluid and they were doing things like they could multitask the things that needed to happen to make it feel real.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like some of them who were just really great actors and they really nailed it down, but they had to do a lot of like research and like really put a lot into it because it is a real job and they needed to make it believable.
Mhm.
So I found a couple of people, I'll link them so you guys can watch them if you ever want to. I found a couple of people who played the cops actually really entertaining, and they would play it pretty like serious. There'd be a couple like corrupt cops, if you will, but they're playing like very genuine because they're the balance in the city and it's needed. Otherwise, everybody's just blowing everything up and with no repercussions. So yeah, I think that's actually a really interesting balance to it, is something like an RP community where if you didn't have the cops, then where's the fun? Because there's no risk to your reward.
Right.
Sure.
And that's what cops are for in those types of games. Whenever it's a game about crime.
That's what cops are for.
But on that note, can Rockstar make a game without a law enforcement involved?
I mean,
have they? They haven't. Like I looked at I got really curious all of a sudden. I was making my list because I was like, GTA, Red Dead Redemption, Bully, like they all have like these
authority figures.
Bully's borderline because it's not really cops. It's more just like the principal and like, right? Like
I think there's actually security officers at the school. I never played Bully. I don't think I was allowed to at the time it came out because I was a child.
I would love a Bully too, or a Bully. Did they do a Bully remastered?
They did not.
so.
But I still have the like collector's edition Bully, by the way, that has the kickball and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
So cool.
I don't know what I'll do with it, but I still have it.
Kick
Well,
the ball.
you kick it. You kick it.
I've never blown it up. It's still deflated.
Well, then you blow it up. Blow it up.
But even Oni is a Rockstar game, and that involves law enforcement. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting. Yeah, that was like I don't know. I don't know if they make games that don't involve like authoritative figures being in power and you having to go against that or with that or something.
Midnight Club?
Midnight Club.
I feel like
I think that has cops.
Midnight Club just needs Need for Speed.
It's Need for Speed with cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Need for Speed had cops.
That's true. Need for Speed had cops.
Need for Speed definitely had cops.
Earthworm Jim 3D.
Oh, they did Earthworm.
He's kind of a cop. He's a space cop. Maybe.
That's a worm.
That's a worm.
Oh. Yeah, they did Earthworm Jim 3D.
I did just 3D, not all of them.
Yeah. They did Austin Powers Oh Behave.
Oh Behave.
And that's not their IP.
Or Austin Powers Welcome to My Underground Lair.
Okay, I'm speaking about their IP. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Surfing H3O. H3O, not H2O. H3O.
H3O, because it's the future.
I'm going to Google and see if cops catch you on the beach, okay? I'm just not convinced it's not there.
Oh, man. That's funny.
Great.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a lot of it. Who's your favorite? If you had to pick one fictional cop, not from a video game, video games, movies, TV shows, who's your favorite fictional cop?
Do you have one offhand? I have to think
I
about
do.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, John McClane, right?
No, it's not.
Really? What? How is it not John McClane?
My favorite cop.
Uh-huh. It's got to be better than John McClane, dude.
It is. It's my favorite cop is Brian O'Connor from the Fast and Furious franchise.
Fun fact, my boss's name is Brian O'Connor.
Hey! Does he also drive only
Hondas?
No, that's not good. That doesn't go as fast.
But he did drive a Honda before he drove.
But did he almost have you? Man, I almost had you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure John McClane is better than him.
I'm going to say Willem Dafoe, Boondock Saints.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Smeckler.
That's a good one. Yeah, what was his name?
Smeckler.
Smeckler.
I don't remember his full name.
I might be needing a bagel with my coffee.
So good,
we've been watching.
Coffee says Chloe Decker from Lucifer.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Katie's watching Lucifer right now.
Again? She's rewatching it again?
Rewatching it, yeah.
It's
funny the overlap of Lucifer and Suits right now.
That's what Hannah had watched all of Lucifer recently. We're actually watching The Walking Dead from the beginning, which is fun to hear her gasp whenever things happen that I know happens. Because, like, spoiler alert, like whenever
the zombies happen.
Whenever the zombies happen. But like anytime any main character dies and I'm just like, she's just like, oh, I know this. And every time she's like, God, I hate Lori so much. And I'm like, everybody hated Lori so much. Boy. But I guess maybe
but
Rick
like really
Grimes.
over John McClane. Sorry.
So, dude, you severely underestimate how much I love the Fast and the Furious movies.
You severely underestimate how sick John McClane is, dude.
Yeah. You almost had me. You never had me. You never had my car. Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. You're lucky that 100 shot of NOS didn't blow the welds off the intake. You almost had me.
Can I change my answer? I thought.
Yeah, you can.
Tombstone.
Ooh,
Bihan, the sheriff.
What from
Tombstone?
Oh, from Tombstone.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, I was like, what's that pizza have to do with this?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
But
want?
you're not talking about Val Kilmer. You're talking about.
Well,
Khan says
you're talking about Wyatt Earp. You're talking about Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Wait.
Because Val Kilmer was a doctor.
No, yeah, Val Kilmer was the doctor. I'm talking about big mustache.
Yeah, Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Oh no, you're
No,
talking
no,
about
it
Sam
was-
Elliott. You're talking
Oh,
about
Sam
Virgil.
Elliott.
You're talking about Virgil.
Virgil was the
Who
marshal.
are you talking about then?
I'm talking about Sheriff. Hold on.
Hold on.
I don't know
Sheriff.
actor's name.
Sheriff from Tombstone.
Behan. Whatever his
The corrupt sheriff from Tombstone?
You enjoyed the
best.
corrupt sheriff from Tombstone.
he's the best.
Why is he the best?
What are we scaling
His
on?
mustache is stupid. I
Great
love it.
character.
That's
You
great.
know who
Great
also had a great
character.
mustache in that movie? Sam Elliott. You know who else has a great voice from that movie?
I think
Sam Elliott.
she's talking about the show. Are you talking about the show or the movie?
Movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not following you on this one.
Hold on,
That's
I'll
okay.
find it and I'll send
That's
it.
okay. Well, Coffee says, or Kant says, first off, she says, everyone Google Tombstone, which we did immediately.
Yeah, no,
and then she says,
I'd love to.
or
I was
as
like, who are
they
you
say,
talking about?
and then Kant says Luther from Luther, Idris Elba, great, I love it.
Oh yeah.
And then
Ooh,
Coffee
other
says Leon
cops.
Kennedy.
Fucking Bunk from The Wire. Yes.
Yeah, I do like
Bunk's
it.
great. Everyone loves Bunk.
Motherfucker, everybody loves it. Allison's favorite cop is Pyramid Head. Okay,
If only that qualifying.
so that's it.
Oh
Those
yeah,
are-
I was thinking about Leon Kennedy. Yeah.
Yeah, Leon Kennedy is great. Does he work for this? Is he a? Oh, he starts
I
as
think
a.
he's a cop, yeah.
He starts as a cop, and then he
Mhm.
joins the Secret Service after that.
Tom Cardy is definitely not a cop, right?
No.
Yeah, no Tom Cardy. No one. Okay.
I don't think so.
I don't know what that
Um,
means.
I don't know. But I think that's going to be it. Does anyone else have any thoughts on the Kappas? On the Kappas? Leon was a cop for one day, and then Raccoon City.
Fuck the Chiefs. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah,
We all agree? Great.
We can all agree that. I think there's only.
Sure.
I think only in
Only
Kansas
Kansas City like that.
likes the Chiefs. To be fair, and Taylor Swift likes one in particular.
Yeah.
But
I've grown to not like Taylor Swift as much. The amount of time that I've had to watch her celebrate has been
but I'm also as
Great.
an Eagles fan, I like the Kelsey family, so that's where I'm still okay with like Travis Kelsey.
Do you know
stuff.
do you know Stavvy? Have you heard
Stavvy?
of, has Stavvy expanded outside of Baltimore at this point?
I don't know.
He's a comedian. He has a Netflix special now. But like he's I'll have to show you. Anyways.
Okay,
But
yeah,
basically there was an article about like they have Taylor Swift, we have Stavvy, but
Oh yeah,
anyways.
gotcha. Okay, all right, cool. So if anyone has any burning questions, now's the perfect time to
If you have burning questions, actually go to a doctor.
go to a
first.
doctor. If it's burning, it shouldn't be, and you should put a salve on it. But
At
if
the
you do have
very
any
least.
questions, please put them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them as we kind of go over some stuff that's happening in the future. In about a month, we're going to be doing our 24-hour stream for charity.
Where we just play Power World for 24 hours.
We're just gonna we're gonna actually finish a game of Civilization 6.
yeah.
Mm.
I'm about that.
I've decided for some mandatory fun that's going to happen.
How exciting!
I'm going to make very subjective trivia. So all of the answers might not be the right answers, but they'll be the answer that the mandatory fun commissioner would like for the questions. So,
Interesting.
so that
to
we're
know.
going to make.
I like that.
As
I
well
feel
as
like
we're
one
going to
person's going to have a really good
yeah. I'm also
hand
going to
up on those answers. That's fine.
No,
That's
probably not. Probably not.
Wait,
You'll see.
fine.
Just because I think appropriately for
Appropriate.
Coffee says, "Did anyone play Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth? And if not, what are you doing with your life?" I haven't
You play
yet.
Like a Dragon? Okay.
Well, Like a Dragon is awesome, but they've been coming out with more Like a Dragons.
There's too many dragons.
So basically, it's like they have Like a Dragon, which is like not because
Like a Dragon.
Kazuma Kiryu isn't the main character in it. And then they basically did other ones. So there's like another one where it's like the man with no name. which is Kazuma Kiryu after he gets after he dies and goes in witness projection. And then there's like Ishin, which is in the past, but it's like a sword gun. You have a sword and a gun. And then what's the other one? There's the Man with No Name, Ishin, and then Coffee. What's the third one that I can't remember? Or is it just Infinite Wealth and that's it?
While he
but tell me
question.
that. Yeah. Judgment. That's what it is. Yep.
Coffee, I'm gonna send you the Yakuza photo shoot. I'm just gonna send it to you so you see how many people were cosplaying it. It was interesting.
That's awesome. I would love to be a part of that. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably have some polls up for things that you might want to, if there's something that you want to happen, that you think would be great. Obviously we're going to find ways that you can cause pain for me and Carrie in some way, and Chris and Allison and anyone else is involved.
Depending on what it is.
Yeah, maybe I'll participate this year.
Maybe Hannah can lead us in some Pilates in the early morning to get our blood flowing again, because she's been doing that. But we'll shock collar. That's what we did last year. I don't know, or the last time. I don't know if we
be
can
original.
I'm gonna be original. I'm gonna do something different. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna have more information coming for you soon. You can find all that information. We do have a date. It's February 23rd at 8 p.m. until February 24th at 8 p.m.
EST.
So Eastern Standard Time, because nobody lives on the West Coast.
Standard Time, honestly.
Me too.
It's funny because the two people chatting aren't on the East Coast, so that's why I wanted to make sure.
That's true.
No, it's the Standard Time.
Yeah, it's the Standard Time.
No other time. If your clocks aren't set to that,
is there? I don't know if there's another time that matters.
Con says that's almost exactly 24 hours. Yes, it is.
We're great at math.
The analytics crew here is incredible.
It's really gotcha. But
yes, we'll help you.
But you can tune into all that stuff if you go to check out our Discord, bit.ly/discobrew. That's bit.ly/discobrew. And you can keep up with all of our stuff, all of our questions. You can see what announcements we're going to have. We'll post all of the event stuff. It's free. Come hang out. Just hang out. Sometimes I just hang out in the lounge whenever I'm playing like Call of Duty. If anybody wants to talk to anybody, I'm just there because my father, Brian Rotz, friend of the podcast, he was like, how do I get better at Warzone? Do I play like with other people? I'm like, you can play multiplayer. He's like, but I don't like to listen to all those people. I'm like, Dad, I take off my headphones and I play Call of Duty in silence with podcasts playing. I don't pay attention to anything else that's going on in the game aside from like do the objective, shoot a man. That's it, you know? So
shoot a man.
Call of Duty, shoot a man. That's what I play. And you can watch me do that on Thursdays at twitch.tv/tubecraze, TUBECRAZED. Every Thursday, the brothers Rotz and Dave and Usman, honorary Mongoose Omelet Rotz brothers.
Do it. They're great guys.
We had 2 weeks ago, we had 5 wins in a night, which was wild. It was really fun.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, Allison.
For those that don't know that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Allison, do you have anything you wanted to plug?
I'm looking to stream on the 10th, so I'll post 10th? About that on the 10th. Yeah,
Saturday, February 10th.
Yes. So there's that. I also forgot to mention. I put a certain con budget in the for me to buy something. You blew it
out of the water,
and I blew it all on one spot. And it was on makeup. And I wanted to shout out.
Yeah, I was there for that. I helped encourage that.
Yeah, you were definitely an encouragement. But it's called Surreal Makeup. Oh, you can't even see that. Can you see this one? Oh, no.
It's because you've got the background on. If you
But anyway, this is
have no shame like me.
Highlighter. And I have it on, but the camera won't show it. But anyway, it's like really glittery, amazing.
Ooh,
as a person that doesn't care about makeup, it was very impressive.
Yeah, it's really fun, and so I spent $100 on makeup.
Oh my!
No regrets. But it's really pretty, and it makes me happy, and
Good.
I have no reason to wear it except for podcasts and streams. So I will be very glittery for all of the rest of the time that I'm on camera. Enjoy, everyone.
Do some like Instaglammer shots, and let us and let's. I don't know if that's a term, but I made it up if it is.
Sorry, everybody, I broke everything. But yes, it's twitch.tv/Finalia if you guys want to hang out on the 10th.
What do you know? What you'll be streaming?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'll have to see what I'm feeling at the time. I'll post about it.
It's giving Honkai Star Rail vibes.
Yeah, whatever.
Cool beans. Chris, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of Allison's shoes that I'm going to be putting up for auction.
My bag of shoes.
So just keep an eye out for that.
I'm also going to be auctioning off some stickers that Chris left at our apartment. That
you still have Ian's underwear?
we got rid of that.
Why are we like this?
Chris,
for the record, I'm not doing that.
Chris, how's my cell phone charger doing? Is it okay?
Really good. It's really long. I really like it.
It was just like one of those things. It's like, no, it's okay because I worked in IT for 8 years. I have enough chargers. Trust me.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so funny. But yeah, anytime we go anywhere, we have to leave something behind. That's how
but to be fair, I didn't.
That's how we make sure that we hang out with each other again.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that was Chris's intention because I didn't leave anything. I think he just like picked up the bag.
It was just a mad rush to get out, and like
he's like, "This is our bag, right? This is our bag."
It seemed like ours. I don't know, dude.
You're like, "All right, I'm just gonna leave with this bag."
Yeah. Coffee seems concerned about the underwear.
It's Ian's underwear, so if you want it, you can have it.
That's something we can auction off for charity.
Oh, for sure. That's probably valuable stuff.
Probably.
That's got a lot more valuable than mine.
You donate $500 to charity, then we'll give you a pair of Ian's underwear.
Coffee offers.
If you donate $1,000, I'll wear them.
I'll put them on my head.
For the kids.
It's for the kids. Everything's for the kids, but we'll hit you up with more information about that as we come. And I think that's about it, unless there's anything else anyone else wants to shout out. I don't think so.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
But thanks for coming to hang out with us, everybody. And we're gonna end the podcast version or the podcast portion by saying what we say whenever we end the podcast, which is good night, everybody.
And Ian